Hello everyone, I'm Brian Easterday and welcome back to Eye of the Storm Astrology. So today I'm going to be continuing my Moon Through the Sign series, and we're going to be discussing Moon when it comes into the sign of Virgo. So what that means whenever you have Moon in the sign of Virgo in your Vedic birth chart, and keep in mind that I base everything off of sidereal calculations. But before I get into that, go ahead and remember to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because I don't want you to miss out on any of the valuable content that could be useful for you in your path work. And I put out a lot of new stuff, so definitely hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on anything. So Moon in the sign of Virgo, this can be an interesting one here. So Moon in Virgo, let's first talk about Virgo. So Virgo is a sign symbolized by the young maiden who's bearing the Ayurveda medicine and the wheat. It is ruled by the planet Mercury, which deals with the intellect and communication, but it is the feminine or the internal expression of Mercury. So whereas with like Moon and Gemini, when I talked about in that video, and if you haven't seen that, go back and check it out, how it takes the qualities of Mercury, that intellect and communication, and it takes it outward, it's external, it's masculine with it. Virgo takes it inward. So they become people who will spend a lot of time thinking, analyzing things, really trying to look at all the pieces and problem solve. Virgo originally occupies the 6th house, which can deal with illnesses, problem solving, litigation, all these different type of things. But in short, it deals with problems. Okay, that would be one way to put it. So Virgo naturally becomes very good problem solvers. So people with, and that makes sense because they, not only is it that 6th house, but it's ruled by Mercury, which is our critical thinking, our intellect. And when you take that internally, you become a thinker. You have the ability to start looking at all the different pieces in the puzzle and the problem and see, okay, if I remove this thing and this thing and this thing, then everything should work smooth. Or maybe I need to add this thing in, or whatever it may be. It's looking at all the pieces and seeing what's not working and then what it needs to actually work. So now Virgo is a sign that is associated with the element of earth. So much like I talked about with the Moon and Taurus, the Moon will have some similar effects here. It will be very grounded, down to earth. It will become very practical here, especially in Virgo. The Moon will become very practical. They will want things that actually make sense and that work, okay? Now, if that doesn't happen, there can definitely be some irritation that comes in, and again, that will depend on the nakshatra that this comes in. But especially say if it falls in like the Chitra nakshatra, which is the last one, half of Chitra nakshatra is in Virgo and half of it's in Libra. If it falls on the Virgo side, it can definitely, like, they might get very irritated, but that irritation can actually lead them to solving problems, and the way they go about solving it, they end up creating this like beautiful thing, or this new program, or figure, just whatever it may be. But that irritation actually leads to this process of creation. That's a theme that you can see going on. Now, likewise, anytime you have a sign with the earth element, the lower expression of it is kind of getting stuck or getting too stubborn. But with Virgo, what happens is it can become stuck and stubborn because it may think it knows the best way to do everything, or the right way to do everything. And they can, like, their way could be a great way. It could be way more efficient than a lot of people's ways. But one of the lessons here is to realize that just because your way is great, just because it works efficiently, that doesn't mean it's the best way for everybody else. So there can definitely be some lessons in that, of understanding that, yeah, you are great at problem solving and you probably do have some great solutions, but your solution isn't the only solution. So you got to balance that out. That way you don't get too stubborn or too stuck with that. Because if you become too stuck, then that can lead to irritation when things aren't going your way. Moon in Virgo can be very interested in fields of like healing, people who are, say, like doctors or veterinarians, or it could even be people who are, say, like lawyers. They deal with litigation, stuff like that, where they're analyzing different problems of life and then trying to find a solution. Judges, even, you could potentially see with like a moon in Virgo. Anybody who is doing like very small, detailed, focused work with things, where they're analyzing things or they're just looking at things in a very detailed way, they're organizing things, that can be a type of career field that you'll find people with moon in Virgo gravitate towards, especially depending on, again, the placement of that in the chart and other influences, but just as a generalization here. Now, something that moon in Virgo people can be is that they tend to be very approachable by people, because if you think about the symbol of Virgo being the young maiden, think about a young woman. They're not intimidating. They're not threatening. You know, most people are intimidated to walk up to a young lady or something, or if they were needing help, they had a problem. A young lady is a softer approach, because it's that feminine energy. It's the feminine's power is to be able to receive things. So it's much more approachable than, say, like a harder sign that's more masculine and outgoing, say like Sagittarius or something like that. People with moon in Virgo, they might experience a thing where people will bring their problems to them. They'll want to tell them about things, whether it's like maybe abuse they suffered like in their life, or things that have went wrong, or they're having this problem in their life, or whatever it may be. Not only because you feel like a safe person for them to unload on, to be a trustworthy person, but they naturally see that you're a thinker and a problem solver. So there's something that just naturally makes them want to bring their problems to you to be able to get advice from you, that type of thing. That's something people with moon in Virgo, I've seen a lot of that happen. Let's go to sum up this video. Again, I just want to keep these kind of short little introductions and everything to give kind of a jumping off point for people to start research. So if you found this video valuable, please do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let me know in the comments what you've gotten from this. Do you have your moon in Virgo? Do you know some people with moon in Virgo? Does this resonate with you? Does it not resonate with you? If you think I'm totally wrong, let me know in the comments as well. If you want to check out any of my consultations, my services, courses, you want to get a hold of me for whatever reason it may be, you can click the link in the description below. That's to my link tree, and that is a one-stop shop for my website, my social media services, email, all that good stuff. It'll get you where you need to go. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in. I always appreciate all the support. And remember, by creating more awareness, we create more ability to be the best version of ourselves. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and I'll see you next time.